The following podcast may contain adult language and explicit content. Parental discretion is advised. Hello, my name is Jonathan Mays. Thank you for clicking on my podcast. Thank you for listening. This is Johnny Knows Best, and this is going to be episode 25, my longest rant ever. And basically, what this show, or what this particular episode is going to be about, it's me just going off on people. The whole 45 minutes or however long I decide to do this episode is just me going off on people and telling people what I should have told them a long time ago. So the whole thing from start to finish is just going to be me going off. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry if I offend you. Some of y'all are going to block me forever, but I don't give a damn. And what else do you expect from me? Hit the intro music. I'ma smoke this joint, then I'ma break you off. I'd be lying if I said you ain't the one. All these tattoos in my skin, they turn you on. Not a smoking, drinking, that's the shit I'm on. Heard you not the type that you take home to mom. Is we fucking when we leave the club or not? I ain't spending cash for nothing, I wanna see you take it off. I'ma pop this bottle, you gon' give me brain or not?
Do you like the way I flick my tongue or no? You can ride my face until you dripping cum. Can you lick the tip then throw the dick or no? Can you let me stretch that pussy out or no? I'm not the type to call you back tomorrow, but the way you wrapping around me is a problem. Ain't nobody trying to save you. Baby, get that paper. Probably got a lot of other bitches.
You know, as I'm listening to this song, I'm realizing in that it's very explicit. But I like this song though. But, you know, I do have a parental advisory at the beginning of the show, so. Okay, that's enough of that. It is Monday, October 9th, 2017. It's Columbus Day. Happy Columbus Day, even though Columbus did not discover America. You know, they've been lying to us for years. You know, that's the first thing I want to get off my chest. I'm tired of everybody saying Columbus discovered America when this son of a gun just got lost and then he came across America and now he gets credit for it forever and he gets a holiday. It's messed up. It really is. I'm very upset right now. I don't know if you can tell by the tone of my voice. Not because of this whole Columbus thing. I don't care about Columbus. He's dead. But just because I got a phone call about 10 or 15 minutes before I started recording this. And, well, you know what? I'm going to tell you about the phone call that I got. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if you can tell by the tone of my voice, but I'm very irritated. I'm halfway sick. My nephew's got me sick again. He's got everybody that lives in our house sick. But, you know, that's another story for another time. I'm not mad at my nephew. I'm not mad at Columbus. I'm not mad at y'all. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for everybody that's tuned in to Johnny Knows Best. Please, share it on your Facebook page. Follow me on Spreaker. You know, that's another thing that kind of bothers me is, I don't know, a few people listen to this show, and I appreciate the people that listen, but I wish more people would share this show, so that other people that are not on my friends list can listen, and so the show would get out to more people if you would just share it on your Facebook page. I don't really even care if you listen. All you gotta do is click, give me a hit on my page, and then share it on your page. And then maybe somebody that actually wants to listen to me will listen, whether you want to or not. But I know a lot of y'all do listen, and I really do appreciate that. You know, I'm upset, but I can calm down long enough to thank all my loyal listeners. You know, I haven't done an episode in about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks now. And it's always my intention. I come on every episode. If y'all listen to every episode, y'all would know this. Most of y'all don't. But if I always attempt to do 2 to 3 episodes a week. But because of my schedule, because I'm working all the damn time, it never ends up being 2 to 3 episodes a week, and it's only been like once a week or once every 2 weeks. And that really irritates me more than anything because I'm not doing these as frequently as I want to do them. And that's partly because of my crazy ass schedule, and partly because, I need to rest at some point, and I'm not getting any rest between working 2 jobs, which probably won't be a problem anymore. But I get into that in a minute. But it's just been crazy, man. And the holidays are not too far away, and my schedule is going to get even crazier. It's going to get even busier at work. And life in general is just crazy. And, I went to the doctor last week. I had to have MRI done and a lot of other tests done. And I'm supposed to get the results to that today. But then I realized today is Columbus Day. So I probably, if the office isn't open, I probably won't get the results from that till tomorrow. So thanks a lot, Christopher Columbus. I can't even find out what condition my brain is in until tomorrow, thanks to your ass. But it's not Columbus's fault. I'm just in a foul mood today, this morning. Um, I don't, like I said, I don't start off in a bad mood. When I wake up, I'm in a great mood. I usually go with my sister to drop my niece off, which we dad to this morning, which I don't understand because today is Columbus Day, and it's like if it's a holiday, why does she have to go to preschool? I don't understand. I don't even understand why they had preschool today. I don't even get that. But that's beside the point. That's another story. Like I said, I don't want to get in a long ass rant about Columbus, but if you're gonna make it a damn holiday, then have everything closed. Be a damn holiday or don't be a damn holiday. Columbus Day is one of those days where it's a holiday when certain places want to close, but then other places are open because they don't really take it that seriously. It's one of those kind of like it's kind of like a fuckboy holiday. Um, Excuse my language. I don't know any other way to say it. I'm upset right now. When I get upset and I get riled up, I use bad language. A lot of people that have listened to past episodes, older people in my family, they'll be like, Johnny, your language, Jonathan, your language, watch your language. And all I have to say about that shit is, I cursed again. All I have to say about that is, I give you a parental advisory. I tell you at the beginning of the show, in the first 10 seconds, that there's explicit language throughout this show. So if you hear that, and then you get to like the 8-minute mark and you hear me curse, I don't know why that surprises you when I told you in the first 10 seconds that I curse. So, that's all I have to say. If you're a older person and that offends you, I don't really care. Stop listening to the show. If you're a family member or somebody that doesn't like it, don't tell me to change my show. This is my show. This and maybe my Facebook is one of the only 2 places where I can just be myself, and I don't have to try to, be anything else than what I am. I'm 100% Jonathan Mays. Um, on Johnny Knows Best, this is 100% Jonathan, except no substitutes. I'm not watered down. Sometimes I can be petty, sometimes I can be offensive, and sometimes I can, hurt somebody's feelings. But that's just who I am. I'm tired of not being who I am, just to cater to other people. And I'm tired of not expressing myself. I'm tired of holding back. This past 2 or 3 months, I think I've really been holding back on people and not going off on them when I should go off on them and not being myself. Even on this show, maybe I've been holding back a little bit. I don't think I have on this show, but if I have, then that's not going to happen anymore here going forward. I'm going back to being the old Jonathan Mays. I know a lot of people didn't like him, but he seemed to be in a good place. Um, and I want to get back to being in a good place. I don't want to be stressed out or depressed like I was this past weekend because I let things just get to me and I let things build up until everything was bothering me, and I just had a really bad weekend. And I was, like I said, I was having a good morning up until about 20 minutes ago when I got a phone call from somebody that's been really jerking me around the past 3 or 4 days and jerking my money around. And that would be my former boss, the lady that, one of my bosses, the lady that I was rolling newspapers for on, it was just doing it 1 or 2 days out of the week, but I would go roll papers for her. And, this was like a little part-time job. It wasn't my main job, but it was something that I did while I was in enterprise to make a little extra money. And, because I would be in enterprise anyway for a couple of days to see my mom. And, I live here in Dothan, Alabama, but I was doing this little side job, helping this lady out, helping her, and trying to make a little extra cash on the side, but it's not like it paid a lot. But I was mostly doing it to help her out. First, let me say that I can't say that shit enough. I was trying to help her out, and it, like I said, it wasn't like a high-paying side job. It's not like it was the easiest side job. A lot of times when I would get done on Friday afternoon, I would be totally exhausted, because I worked my main job. The other five out of 7 days a week, I get one whole day off, and I help this lady out on Fridays and sometimes Saturdays. But I would be exhausted by the time I would get done with her just to get a little bit of money. And I say a little bit of money, I really do mean it was just a little bit of money. So I worked for her this past Friday, and as usual, I put up with all the her craziness. This lady, I'm telling you, she is so, how can I put it? She's an older lady, an elderly lady. And there are so many things that you can't do because it upsets her. And she's so picky by how you do things. And, I got done working for her on Friday, got paid. And then, so anyway, Friday night, after I done got done with her, or that Friday night, this past Friday night, she calls me and tells me that she no longer need me to help her out anymore. After I've been helping this woman out for months, and the only reason why I didn't want to quit working for her was not just because I needed the money, because I made pretty good money in my full-time job that I have now. I didn't need this lady's money. I was helping her out. And I've been wanting to quit for months. This woman is so crazy. You can't listen to music in your headphones. You can't do anything. This lady has a problem with everything that you do. You can't text on your phone. It's crazy, and it's just like you're rolling newspapers. So I get my job done. My me texting on my phone or me listening to music through my earphones, not listening through music, not just playing music off my phone, but listening through music through my earphones. That bothers her for some reason. She can't even hear the music. But anyway, after all these months of me sticking with this woman and being loyal to this woman, even though I didn't need the job, but I didn't need the money, and I'm not even gonna go into how she almost got me killed a couple weekends ago. I would say that I started doing this this newspaper thing back in January, and it's October now. So about for almost 10 months now, every Friday, sometimes Saturday, sometimes on Thursday, I would help this lady out, and get that little amount of money that nobody else would take to basically help this lady out, taking that little amount of money. And no matter how difficult she got, no matter how much she got on my nerves, I stayed with this lady. I did not quit. And then all of a sudden last Friday, after I don't work for her the whole day, picking up newspapers, picking up bundles of papers, like 20-pound bundles, and listening for her. And after I don't wore myself out, hurt my back, and work for her all day long when I could have been just off chilling, just spend time with my mom, or just off doing my own thing. Um, this lady, calls me Friday night and says, "You know what, Jonathan? I don't need you to do this anymore. I've just decided that I'm not going to be doing it anymore." And so I'm like, okay, that's messed up, but it is what it is. You're not gonna throw papers anymore. Things happen. People get laid off, and like I said, it's only a part-time job. It's only like something I do 1 or 2 days out of the week. It's a little money out of my pocket every week, and I get paid every week, so it's a little money out of my pocket every week. But no sweat. I still got my main job. I still got my main source of income. I don't make any money off this show. I'm talking about my main job that I have throughout the week. I still got that. So I wasn't like, I was disappointed, but it didn't really like ruin my day. And, I was been thinking of ways to quit anyway, right? Oh, I didn't even go in and tell y'all about how this old lady almost got me killed 2 weeks ago when she picked up a hitchhiker while we were rolling papers and delivering newspapers. And this guy got in the back seat, and basically it was some crazy, drugged out, 7 foot tall dude. His hand was bleeding, and he was in the back seat with me as we were rolling newspapers. And this guy obviously was either drugged out his mind or he was just crazy as hell. I don't know which one. Don't know which one he was, but he just wasn't right in the head. Something was wrong with this guy. And this guy could have killed me and killed her, and made purses out of her skin. Who knows? Because she wants to pick up every random guy that she sees walking down the street. That's how I met her. I was walking down the street one day and she picked me up. But that's beside the point. The point is, some people are really crazy. And anyway, this lady almost got me killed 2 weeks ago. So then this past Friday night, all of a sudden she decides that she doesn't want me she doesn't need me to work for her anymore. So I'm like, okay, cool, that's all right. I didn't believe that all of a sudden she had stopped wanting to roll papers or deliver newspapers. I think she just didn't want me working for her anymore. So Saturday morning, I get up because I got to come back to Dothan. I got to come back from Enterprise to Dothan to work my real job, my paying job, my main job. And the person that was supposed to give me a ride to Dothan, my best friend Tiffany McGoy. Shout out to Tiffany. Tiffany took some medication, couldn't get me back to Dothan. So, but I'm not mad at Tiffany for that, because she was on medication. I know how that is when you take some medication and it fucks with your system. I know how that is. Tiffany, I'm not mad at you. I'm really not. I mean, but I had to find another way to get to Dothan. I did at the last minute. So then the old lady, newspaper lady, calls me back and says, "You know what, Jonathan? I thought about it. I woke up thinking about it, And I decided that I'm still gonna need you to help me do the paper. So I said, okay, cool. You know, I don't know what. Maybe it was just the way she had told me the night before that she didn't need me anymore. I don't know what it was specifically. I almost can't say specifically. I don't know what it was that made her change her mind, but she got up Saturday morning and decided that she wanted me to work for her again on Fridays and Saturdays or whatever days she needed me. And I said, okay, that's cool, that's fine. Yeah, I can do it, no sweat. You thought about it, you changed your mind. So I go, like I said, I get back to Dothan. I find another way back to Dothan after my friend Tiffany went into hibernation and I couldn't get up with her. I get another way back to Dothan. I'm back in Dothan now. I go work my other job, put up with the mess that I have to put up working with them. I had to stay over and work a double Saturday because they needed help. I figure, well, you know, I can always use some extra money. Like I said, the holidays are coming up. So I work an extra shift at my main job. So I work Saturday night. That's why this show is just coming out today on Monday. I was actually going to have it come out on Saturday, but I ended up working a double and having to anyway. So Saturday goes by, Sunday goes by, I work my main job on Sunday. Monday morning goes by. It's Monday morning now. It's today. And a few hours ago, this lady calls me and says, "You know what, Jonathan? I think my nephew is going to help me out on Fridays from now on. So I really don't need you anymore." I was like, "What? Okay, so you decide Friday night that you don't need me. Then you wake up Saturday morning and you decide, yeah, I still do need Jonathan. Jonathan actually does a lot for me. I need you." And then today, Monday morning on Columbus Day on October 9th, you get up and decide you're going to let your nephew do it because he doesn't have a source of income. So I said, usually the old me would have went off on this old woman. I would have said something really nasty or terrible and something petty, but my mama raised me better than that. My aunt Renier Lynn, God rest her soul, she raised me better than that. So all I said to this woman was, "Okay, all right, yes, ma'am. Thank you for everything. I appreciate it." Hung up on her. So I don't know if she's gonna change her mind again. Uh, I'm sorry that took up half the show, but I had to get that off my chest because that just happened like right before I started recording this show. And I think it's kind of messed up that this lady keeps changing her mind. Like, I need this damn job. This little ass job that only pays. I only use the little money that I make to buy my mom cigarettes. It's really her cigarette money, and now it's gone. So I'm gonna have to pull from my main money, but I got it to pull. I'm not broke. I'm not the richest man in the world, but I'm not broke either. But I know one damn thing, and you can take this to the bank and cash this son of a gun. If this woman changes her mind again, she's out of luck. My Thursdays and my Fridays and my Saturdays are full now. So and they're not, but they will be now because you can't just jerk somebody around, and that is the real point and subject matter of today's show. Is I really feel like people in general and have been jerking me around a lot lately, personally and professionally, but more personally than anything. Um, like I said, my friend Tiffany, I don't blame her for falling asleep, but then other people that when before I got diagnosed with a brain cyst and a tumor, people that I would drive around and give rides to all the time. Um, you know, Suddenly now that I'm in the situation I'm in where I can't drive and I have to walk from place to place. suddenly, now they can't be bothered for a ride when I ask for a simple ride. Or I don't, I'm not really even upset at that though. To be honest with you, I don't care if people can't give me a ride because people have their own lives. They work their own jobs. They take care of their own families. Not everybody is going to be available to you 100% to give you a ride. What pisses me off, what pisses me off more than anything is when I text people or when I call people and they don't return my text message or don't return my phone call. That's my one pet peeve that I have. I hate that. I cannot stand that shit. Because people, we live in a generation of smartphones. Everybody either has an Android phone or an iPhone or some kind of a smartphone. And people carry their phones with them everywhere, into the bathroom. You carry your phone with you to work. You're constantly checking your phone. You constantly either on Facebook or Twitter or Snapchat or YouTube. You're always on your phone. Texting somebody or listening to music or looking up shit on Google. People stay on their phones 24/7. So for me to text you or give you a phone call when I need a ride to work to make my money. I'm not talking about this little newspaper shit, but I'm talking about my real actual job. And I just need a ride. I got gas money. Gas money is not even a problem. It's I just need someone to take the time out if they ain't got nothing else going on. And most of the time it's early on Saturday morning. And I call people that I know, are not working or really don't have anything going on. And they can't be bothered. Which is fine if you can't be bothered, but return my text message. Return my phone call. Return my direct message on Facebook that I know you saw because Facebook, it tells on you when you read the message, it says read. So I can tell when you've seen the message. Your little chat head goes down. So I know you seen my message and you just want to ignore it. And you don't want to return it. But you know what? I noticed something. I noticed that the people that don't text you back or don't return your phone call, these are always the people that when they text you or they call you and you don't answer, they lose their shit when you don't respond to them. But they are always the ones that will not respond to you. And then, you see them on Facebook posting pictures and posting videos on funny videos. Or they got the nerve, these same people will tag you on Facebook after you've been texting them and calling them to try to get a ride in the Enterprise. They will, or to Dothan, or wherever the hell you might be going. They will tag you on Facebook like you didn't just text them, like they just didn't get a text message from you. It pisses me off. It really does. That's something. And I don't want to hear the excuse, well, I was at work. I work all the time. Nobody works as much as I do. There's only one man that I know, maybe two guys, but that works more than I do, and that's Russell Burwell. Shout out to my friend Russell Burwell. And maybe Tremaine Irby. Shout out to Tremaine. Those two guys, they work all the damn time. And I try to get them on the show, but they work a lot. Those are the two guys that work more than I do. Nobody else works as much as me. But I always return text messages. I always manage to return phone calls. Maybe not as soon as you text me or as soon as you call me. Maybe not immediately. It might be a couple hours that pass by. But eventually, I will return your call. I want to, there's another example of this. I posted about this yesterday on Facebook. I made this long post where I talked about these people that they act like they don't want to be bothered, or they act like they can't respond to your calls or messages. Anyway, I made this long post on Facebook talking about this very issue. And man, I got so many text messages from people that I hadn't heard from. And I'll say people I ain't heard from in a year or two. Start texting me, calling me, because of what I posted on Facebook. Because I guess they assumed I was talking about them. And to be honest with you, I wasn't talking about a lot of them. The post wasn't directed at a lot of them. It was just directed at certain individuals from over the weekend that I tried to contact that didn't want to return the message. Not that I think, before anybody says this, let me say this. I don't think that everybody should bend to the will of Johnny like I'm the center of the universe. I don't think you don't have to answer my text messages or answer my phone call when I call you or text you. That's fine. But all I can say is don't get mad or hurt when you try to text me or try to call me and I don't answer. Because I'm petty as fuck. So if you don't answer me, if you don't try to get in touch with me when I'm trying to get in touch with you, then I hope you expect the same thing is what I'm saying. My friend Ann, she got on my post and she was like, I texted you a few hours ago and you never responded. You're right. I might go a few hours without texting you or responding to you, but eventually I will respond to you. I don't never just ignore anybody just to be petty. I'm not that petty. I think that's beyond petty. I think it's stupid. It's really stupid just to ignore somebody just because you don't want to answer them. Just text them back and say, hey, I don't want to talk to you if that's the case. But, that's all I want to say about that. Like I said, I've had a lot of people texting me and calling me the last couple of days trying to explain themselves. Like, no, don't try to explain yourself now after I don't blasted you on Facebook and exposed you on Facebook and exposed you on social media. Don't even text me now that if you heard this podcast, and don't try to explain yourself to me now. You wasn't there for me when I need you, so I'm not gonna. I'm gonna start. That's me knowing that I can't count on you. We all have our bad days. We all get in moods, but if you're supposed to be my friend and I need you, you're not there for me when I need you. What good are you? I'm just being honest, and that's the truth. I always spit the truth on this show, and that's about as honest as I can be. So, there's only like 12 minutes left in this show. I think I'm out of breath almost, going off on that old lady and going off on these people that don't respond to me. But basically, a lot of crazy stuff has been going on last Monday night or last Monday morning or last Sunday night, whenever it happened. This crazy son of a gun in Vegas shot 58, 59 people. He's crazy as hell. I'm glad he killed himself. I'm glad he's dead. And, I know a lot of y'all are still talking about this story. It was a major news story last week. I didn't get to do an episode in between this happening and to talk about how crazy this mess was. The biggest mass shooting in American history. It seems like every time there's a shooting now, it's always the biggest mass shooting in American history. It's some crazy shit going on, and a lot of people are debating this whole Vegas thing. They're debating the whole gun control issue. I know a lot of y'all are debating that on social media right now. I don't feel like guns kill people. I feel like crazy motherfuckers do. I don't think guns are to blame. That's just my opinion on it. I know everybody has their own opinion. I know I have a lot of friends and a lot of social media friends on both sides of the issue, and a lot of y'all feel differently about it. But my opinion, I don't think well, I just told you how I feel. I don't think guns are the problem. I think these people, they're just killing innocent people. just because they're crazy as hell. I think that's the problem. I think that when our president tries to divide us, and I think I think the way that he acts, that like he doesn't care about certain people, I think that's a problem. I think the way that it's starting to get hot and it's only 10:30 in the morning, I think that's a huge problem. It's only October. It shouldn't be this hot in October. When is the cool weather gonna come? The end of the month? Around Halloween? Is it gonna be cool around Halloween? But some Halloweens it is pretty cool, and then sometimes it's not cool on Halloween. But I'm ready for the hoodie weather to get here. Now, I already done bought a couple of hoodies. I'm gonna start getting my hoodie game up in preparation for the cool weather. But yeah, man, that whole Vegas thing was crazy. It was a tragedy. My prayers are with all the families. You know, like I said, I didn't do a show last week to talk about this, but it was the craziest thing that's happened in a long time. Very tragic. Also, since I did my last episode, Tom Petty and Hugh Hefner passed away. Tom Petty, one of the greatest singer-songwriters of our generation. I could have a whole 45-minute show dedicated to Tom Petty and how much I love this song. Last Dance with Mary Jane. You know, Free Free Falling, all the songs that he wrote. I love Tom Petty. I wasn't a huge fan of Tom Petty, but I did listen to his stuff. And I think it's very tragic that he passed away. At I think he was what, 66, 63. He was 60 something. He wasn't that old. Wasn't that much older than my mom. Anytime somebody passes away in my mom's age range, it really, makes me think about her. I think I'm gonna call her when I get done doing the show. Cause she's getting older. No, she's not elderly. I don't think you're in your 60s, you're elderly. But people are passing away. They never passed away before. Hugh Hefner, he was in his 90s. And to say that this son of a gun didn't live a good life would be a huge understatement. He had a great life. Founded Playboy magazine. Hugh Hefner was a major activist, a great philanthropist. He stood up for black people in the movement. So Hugh Hefner was like an uncle to me. He taught me a lot about women. I learned a lot about women from Hugh Hefner. How to understand women. I'm not even being sarcastic or funny right now. He was I had a subscription to Playboy magazine when I was a teenager. For the articles. But yeah, those Tom Petty and Hugh Hefner were two huge losses to me personally. And I didn't get a chance in the last couple episodes to speak on them, but I'm speaking on them now. But I'm glad I got to mention both of them. If I should have dedicated whole episodes to Hugh Hefner and Tom Petty, but because of my crazy ass schedule, I couldn't do it. But I'm not even working one of those jobs now, so maybe if nothing else, maybe I get to do two to three more episodes a week. Now that I'm not working for that crazy old woman. So you, the listeners, win. There you go. If nothing else, y'all win. Alabama won. Shout out to the Alabama Crimson Tide and in a nasty victory over Texas A&M. They almost didn't win at all. It really, they won, but it was a nasty win. It was an ugly win, and I hope that beating Vanderbilt 59-0 and beating Ole Miss 63-3. I hope that hasn't gotten to Alabama's head. And they just think they the shit now because, as my coach Nick Saban said, they're not the shit. They're really not. They got a lot of stuff they need to work on before they play anybody else. Let alone Auburn or Clemson if they get lucky enough to play Clemson again. they need to worry about Georgia and some of these other teams they got coming up. You know, the Lions lost, Detroit Lions lost again to the Carolina Panthers after all that shit that's been going on with Cam Newton. Okay, let me just say I'm disappointed in the Detroit Lions, so I can talk about this Cam Newton thing for a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so last week, Cam Newton was being interviewed by a reporter, and a female reporter that worked for, I forget where she worked for, ESPN, or she worked for a local paper or something, sporting paper. And she asked him a question, and Cam Newton replied, "Oh, wow, that's a funny question coming from a woman." That wasn't what he said verbatim, but it was something to that effect. And boy, why did he say that? Because that was the wrong damn thing for him to say. And the media went crazy off of that. And this woman, she really tried to play the victim in this whole thing by, saying that Cam Newton doesn't respect women, that she felt offended by this whole thing. And then, it just got blown up, and, Cam's sponsors were dropping him, and it was just a lot of bullshit just over this one little comment that I really don't think Cam Newton was trying to be sexist. I really don't think he was. I think he was just making a comment. And it was just a stupid comment that he should have thought about being an athlete, and especially being a black athlete. He should have really thought about it, but he didn't. And, I'm starting to lose my voice, but I'm almost at the end of the show. You know, that's his fault. He was wrong. But then, they did some digging into the background of this female reporter, Jordan. I don't know, she's some blonde girl, some girl. They did some background or her background. They find out that in the past she's made some racist comments, and that her father's made some racist comments, and that she said the word nigga more than once. She called Dale Earnhardt a nigga, or a bitch ass nigga, or something to that effect. And she uses a lot of racial epithets. So this woman isn't an innocent victim. She might be a little racist on top of everything else. Well, now she had to come out and apologize. So what is the moral to all of this? Basically, that people get too offended about every damn thing that, that happens nowadays. The world has become way too PC. And sometime in the near future, I'm going to do podcasts about that, about how society and our culture and everybody's become too offended by every damn thing. You can't say how you feel anymore without offending someone. I don't think people should have got offended by what Cam Newton said. And I'm going to say something really controversial now. I don't really even think people should really got offended by what this woman has said. Just because she has a little racism in her heart, or she posted a racist tweet years ago, or she posted a racist Facebook post. Maybe she's a racist, maybe she's not, but this lady should be allowed to say what she wants and say how she feels, as well as Cam Newton. Why do people get offended by every damn thing? That's what I don't understand. That's how I know my podcast will never really go public or really get picked up by a network, because I just say what I want. And I'm not about to change for any sponsors. Well, I might change for sponsors. If people actually start paying me to do this, I might change up my format a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. For money, I would do a lot of damn things that I don't want to do. That's just me. I'll sell out in a minute. Johnny will sell out in a minute. Everybody. But yeah, I'm sure I offended a lot of people with this whole episode, but I don't give a damn if you're for gun control, or if you like the guy that killed all those people. I think he's an asshole. I hope he burns in hell. I don't care. I don't care if you're one of these people that never answers the phone when I text you or call you, um, and you're mad about what I said. I don't give a damn what you think. If you're this old lady that fired me twice over the weekend, I don't care what you think either. And I'm out of time. I want to thank everybody for listening to my show. And tune in to episode 26 when I just won't be ranting about random shit. Thank you for listening. Follow me on Spreaker. Share this on Facebook. I'll holler.